Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. What I'd love to do today is go through a book, and the book that I've selected for this particular episode is entitled When Panic Attacks, a book that was authored by Dr. David Burns and published on the 12th of June 2007. Let's see what we can learn, what we can take, and what we can incorporate into our inventory of skills and use, hopefully, to improve our lives or to bring improvement to the lives of those around us. So this book talks about panic and unpacks it for us from a medical and scientific perspective. In a culture that rushes to medicate our racing thoughts, Dr. David Burns dares to ask a very, very radical question. What if anxiety isn't a chemical imbalance to be corrected, but a story we can learn to rewrite? In this book, When Panic Attacks, is both a challenge and a revolution by dismantling decades of assumptions about anxiety and its treatment. This isn't a gentle meditation on wellness or another collection of breathing exercises. It's a precision toolbox built by one of cognitive behavioral therapy's founding fathers, designed to help us understand and rebuild our anxious minds from the ground up. So the first key message that comes from this book is where we look at the architecture of anxiety. Burns masterfully deconstructs how our thoughts build the scaffolding of our fears, our uncertainties, and our doubts. Through detailed case studies and personal examples, he reveals how anxiety isn't a single monster, but a complex interplay of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that we can learn to understand and to reshape. His exploration of cognitive distortions shows how our minds become unreliable narrators of our own lives and experiences. We move on to talking about the myth of the chemical cure. Through extensive research and clinical experience, Burns challenges the prevalent belief that anxiety must be managed through medication. He demonstrates how our thoughts and beliefs drive our anxiety more powerfully than brain chemistry, whilst acknowledging the complex relationship between the mind and the body. His approach empowers readers by showing how we can become our own best therapists. We look at the power of exposure. Burns revolutionises our understanding of facing fears by showing how strategic exposure becomes your pathway to your freedom. Through carefully structured exercises and real-life examples, he demonstrates how avoiding what scares us paradoxically strengthens our fears, while mindful confrontation dissolves and hopefully removes them for good. The liberation of truth testing, rather than trying to positively think our way out of anxiety, Burns shows us how to scientifically move our anxious predictions. Through his what if technique and other practical tools, he teaches readers to become personal researchers, gathering their own evidence that consistently contradicts our worst fears, because each experiment becomes a step towards freedom from anxiety's false prophecies. The art of cognitive restructuring is another interesting and powerful concept. Burns provides a sophisticated yet accessible toolkit for challenging and transforming anxious thoughts. His methods go beyond simple positive thinking to create fundamental shifts in how we process and respond to anxiety-provoking situations. Through his famous triple column technique, readers learn to become skilled observers and editors of their own disempowering thought patterns. Because at the end of the day, there are hidden gifts of resistance. Through exploring why we sometimes hold onto our anxiety, Burns reveals how our fears often serve hidden and unknown purposes. He shows how understanding and addressing our resistance to change becomes crucial for lasting transformation. His exploration of secondary gain helps readers uncover and address, the unconscious benefits of anxiety. And the last key message to come from this book is where we look at the science of self-compassion. Perhaps most revolutionary is Burns's integration of self-acceptance with change. He demonstrates how being kind to ourselves whilst working on our fears can help accelerate the healing process through techniques like the acceptance paradox. Readers learn how embracing our anxiety actually reduces its power, while fighting it makes it much stronger. Finishing up in this book, when panic attacks, it transcends the typical anxiety self-help genre by providing not just understanding, but precise, proven tools for transformation. Every technique is grounded in research, tested in clinical practice, and explained with crystal clarity. Take care, everybody. Yassas, and bye for now.